going to go to Senator Reid.
We get the agreement through both houses and to the president. We will cut $78.5 billion below the president's 2011 budget proposal, and we've reached an agreement on the policy riders. In the meantime, we'll pass a short-term resolution to keep the government running through Thursday. That short-term bridge will cut the first $2 billion of the total savings. Mr. President, I first of all want to express my appreciation to the Speaker and his office. It's been a grueling process. We didn't do it at this late hour for drama. We did it because it's been very hard to arrive at this point. I also want to express my appreciation to my counterpart, Senator McConnell. We've talked during this process on a number of occasions. We have, as we say here, on many occasions it's turned out to be, we have really a terrific relationship. We do our best to protect each caucus. We have our battles here, but he's really a pleasure to work with, and I admire and appreciate his work for the people of Kentucky and the country. Mr. President, this has been a long process. It has not been an easy process. Both sides have had to make tough choices, but tough choices are what this job's all about. I think it's important to note, Mr. President, as we said in this statement, this is historic what we've done. $78.5 billion below the 2011 budget that we have been working off of. We've worked on many riders. It's what we've done has been difficult but important for the country. We all agree that there are many cuts that have to take place in the future. We understand that. We must get this country's fiscal house in order. But if the American people have to make tough choices, and they're doing it every day, so should their leaders. That's our responsibility, all 100 of us, and 435 members of the House. The Speaker and I have reached an agreement that I've read that will cut spending and keep the country running. We've agreed to a historic level of cuts for the remainder of this fiscal year, as well as a short-term bridge that will give us time to avoid a shutdown while we get this agreement through both houses and to the President. I repeat, we will cut $78.5 billion, and we've reached an agreement, I repeat, for the second time on the policy riders. I do that because that has not been easy. In the meantime, we'll pass a short-term resolution to keep the government running through this coming Friday. That short-term bridge will cut the first $2 billion of the total savings that we've already talked to, the 78.5. So, Mr. President, with the permission of the Republican leader, ask unanimous consent. The Senate proceed to counter number 28, H.R. 1363, that a Reid McConnell substitute amendment, a 7-day continuing resolution, which is at the desk, be agreed to the bill as amended, be read a third time, and the Senate proceed to vote on passage of the bill as amended, that the motion to reconsider be considered made and laid on the table, with all the above occurring with no intervening action or debate.
Is there objection?
Mr. President.
The Republican leader.
Let me thank my friend, the Majority Leader, and Speaker Boehner for their outstanding work during this difficult negotiation. You know, Mr. President, we had an opportunity tonight to decide whether we wanted to repeat history or make history. Had we chosen to repeat history, we would have allowed a government shutdown. Instead, we decided to make history by implementing in the middle of this fiscal year, as the Majority Leaders indicated, substantial reductions in spending. Now, these reductions, Mr. President, are in the billions. Once we get through this process, by the end of next week, we will move on to a much larger discussion about how we save trillions. By enacting, hopefully on a bipartisan basis, a budget that genuinely begins to get on top of this problem. And the problem, as we all know, is $14 trillion in debt and over $53 trillion in unfunded liabilities. The President's asked us to raise the debt ceiling. And Senate Republicans and House Republicans, and I hope many Democrats as well, are going to say, Mr. President, in order to raise the debt ceiling, we need to do something significant about the debt. My definition of significant, Mr. President, is that the markets view it as significant, the American people view it as significant, and foreign countries view it as significant. So for tonight, again, I congratulate the Majority Leader and the Speaker. This is an important first step, but just the beginning of what we need to do to get our house, our fiscal house, in order.